Okay, hello everyone. So we are going to resume our Anyone Python class. So with follow is episode the sixth. So today we are going to learn one of the most important feature of any program language. Literally any computer program language use this technique, which is called the loop. So especially today we are going to use the for loop for that. So before we start, for your reminder of the last episode, we have learned the what is the Python program language. Then we have installed the Python program on your PC or the laptop. Then we also installed the PyCharm. What is the PyCharm? So PyCharm is the IDE, Integrated Development Environment, which is simply software to do coding, programming coding. So there are a bunch of different IDE. So it's your preference, but in the Anyone Python, we are going to use PyCharm, the IDE. So don't forget, the PyCharm is not program language. PyCharm is the software. So for you to learn how to use the Python programming. So then we have learned one more thing. It's called Carol. So Carol is our friend to learn the Python programming. Actually, the Carol was born in the Stanford University. Then it has been used for what? The helping people to learn the program language at first time. So with the help of Carol, we are going to learn the very basic technique of the program language. So first time, the last time that we learned about the what? Decomposition. Eventually, we create the function. So then using the sample program. So let me change my screen to the PyCharm. So why don't you open the PyCharm? Then we are going to run one more time the ppot whole. Then we will check whether or not you remember we had homework, the assignment. It's a two-hole problem. So we will see the homework, the two-hole problem for review purpose. Okay, so let me change our screen into our very basic desktop. So this is our PyCharm. So if you forget how to start the PyCharm, simply double click PyCharm on the Windows or if you are using MacBook, so you can go to application and start your PyCharm. Then once you start, so you are using the project, the Anyone Python project. So then you can find the list of the program that we are using. So for the last class, we have used this one, the episode 5, the fear part whole problem. So if you do not remember, why don't you open? Then you probably did the programming. So one more time, the Carol program, the Python program. There are three parts. One is this, if whatever. So you don't have to worry about right now, and do not change anything. So I'm going to have a chance to explain about this. This is simply called the main function. Then where's the main function? Always the main is here. There's nothing. So we are going to add the programming code in the main. Don't forget to delete the past. Then the import. Later, the import will be used a lot in the Python programming if you get familiar with the Python programming. But right now, we are going to use Carol that stands for Carol. So we are going to import this existing program. This is not our code. So somebody already, Stanford already developed the Carol program. So we are going to just import the borrow, then use in the Anyone Python. So then last time you remember our fear part whole problem. So let me first run the program. To run the program, you can click the run, then run, then select we are going to run the episode 5, the last one. And you will see this. Then our problem is to fill out this pothole. This is dangerous. So how can we do that? Verbally, we can solve the problem. Carol move and then turn right, but there's no turn right. So how can we address that? We create a function. So function is a group of your code to simplify your code. And also it can be reused. As you can see over here, the function can be defined as DEF. As I said, the computer programmer, developer, they are just simple. So they named the DEF. So using DEF, you can create your own function. Function name is here, and don't forget left and right parentheses. So left and the right parentheses is the kind of signature of the function. We will have a time to know about more about the such a left and right parentheses. And also to create a function, there is a colon like this. Colon, what's the meaning of colon? That indicate there will be code block. So this is called a code block. So code block is a group of code that can be executed, run sequentially. So for example, in this, the function, where is the boundary? This function is one code block up to here. So this is kind of family. So sequentially, this command will be run like that. This is a code block. One more important thing. Do you remember that? When you are doing Python programming, this is very important. Keep the indentation. So this indentation, indicate that these are the same indentation means same code block. Later, we will see another indentation that is the code block like that. So this is a basic rule of the Python programming. One more time, don't forget the left and right parentheses of function. Then colon indicate what? There will be the code block. So code block can be represented by the indentation. How many spaces? 4 spaces. So or 1 tab. 4 spaces, 1 tab is okay. Then you can create your own function. Then so this is a function for fill pothole. So then this function has what? You can see the turn right. So instead of turn left, we can create a turn right function. Similarly, so how can you turn around? Turn around is turn left and turn left. So we can create a turn around. So by running 2 times of a turn left. So using function, we can make our code simpler. It's a simple. So that's the way of the programming. So if we make the function, let's go back to here. So when you solve this problem, so if there is any hole, so what can you do? You can move. If there is a hole, so you can fill pothole. So then this one will be filled. Then move. So move, fill pothole, and move. Then this will be the solution. So let's solve this problem. Let's see. Then how can you run? So you can just click the run over here. Then click, fill pothole, turn right, and put people, go back and move. Yes, that solved the problem. So we did fill pothole, the program coding the last time. And since we didn't have enough time the last episode, I gave you the homework. What if there is another hole over here? It's a 2-hole problem. So if there's another hole, how can we solve that problem? Okay, so for example, but this word, Carol word, does not have the 2 hole. So after I clean up, I'd like to show how can we do that. So first, let's set the word. So this is the beginning. If you run the program, it's this one. So before we run, why don't you click the load word. So go to the desktop and anyone Python, your folder. Then you can see the anyone Python SMU folder. Then under that, there's word. So why don't you click word? There are many words. So this is a map for Carol's word. So you can select E05, episode 5, fear part whole. There are 2 whole problem over here. Fear part whole 2. Why don't you click this one? Then you can see the 2 holes over here. 2 holes like this. Okay. Then, however, if you run this program again, it only fills the first hole. So the program should address should fill another hole. Okay, to do that, let's close the program and go back to here. Then, so what will be the solution? First, move and fill part hole. Then move. Then you can move one more time. There is a hole. So we can just use fill part. And also there's already here is a hint. It's the benefit of using IDE, PyCharm. PyCharm suggests it's like the autofill. So we can double click, then fill part hole. Then after you fill the hole, second one, move. So this is our solution for the 2 holes problem. Is it correct? So we can just simply check it by running the code. You can run the program. If you select the same thing, you can just click here. Or you can click the arrow, green arrow next to your if. Or if you want, you can click this. Then select the correct one, E05, the episode 5, and click the green arrow. Or you can run this one from here. So anything is fine. So this time, let me use this. Run this. And you can see the Carol's word. But this is the default one, default map. So we need to change by clicking load again. Then this one is the map. Okay, E05 fill part hole 2.w. It's our Carol's map. So select yes, it's correct one. Then finally we run the program. Yes. So first one is filled. Yes. Then move and one more time move. Second one is filled. Then go back and move. So yes, we solved the problem. So this is the program that you completed. So what kind of the program? This program use what? Function that we define. So we create the 3 functions, fill part hole, turn right, and turn around. So our program is simple. This technique is called the decomposition. So programming, computer programming, once you get used to one program language, next when you learn the study other program language, it's not difficult because basically we are doing this, we are using same technique like the decomposition and the creating the function, then use it. Then our program is much simpler. This is the reason why we use the function in our program. Okay, one more time. The computer guys and the computer programming, computer really hate and lazy to use same command again and again, repeat. They don't want to. Instead, we can create the turn right and the turn left. So instead of turn left, we can create the turn right, then our program will be simpler. Okay, very nice. So this is what we have learned the last time. So today, we are going to learn the loop. Loop is also coming from laziness. So we don't want to repeat again and again. Instead, we are going to use loop. So before we start, let's see the other problem. So let me see that this one. So we already we have seen that this. So why don't you solve this problem? This problem is very, very simple. So we are going to put a beeper this location. Just one beeper. Okay? Very simple. How can you do that? So if you are using the command like the why don't you say the command? First, move, right? And this position, put beeper. Okay, then move. That's simple. So why don't you do it? So why don't you solve this problem? This time that we are going to use what? We are going to use the episode 6. So you can click the episode 6 and the place many beeper. So why don't you click the place as many beeper, the problem. So click the place many beeper. So then your job is delete the path and the code it. So why don't you start? It will take the less than a minute. Please solve this problem. Then run it. So you can run the program. How does it work? Is it successful? If you're successful, you are so good. If you're not, why don't you follow me? The first, we can make the carrot move. So move. Very simple. Then we can put the beeper. Right? Then after putting beeper, make the carrot move. That's it. But if you just click this arrow or this arrow, it will be a different one because this one will run it again, the last one. Also, you can see the E05. So to make a change, you can change the program into the 6. Then click this or run the program. Let me start the program using this one. Okay. Here is our map and the carrot. Okay, let's check. We can just simply click and check it. Wow, nothing happened. So listen. So this is it's a corner beeper. So that's the different one. So this one is the place the many beeper. We are going to run the program here and run. And then check the place many beeper is here. So we should run this program. Yes. Place many beeper and run the program. Yes. So that's exactly what we want. Next job is it's too easy. So next job is why don't you put 5 beeper? So this time you are going to put multiple 5 beeper. So 5 of them. Okay, so start. Maybe 30 seconds to solve this problem. It's very easy. Then after you complete the code, run it and check it. Is it successful? So let me, if you complete successfully, you are so good. If not, just follow me. How can you make the carrot put the 5 beeper? Just simply 5 times of this one. One more time. Put, oh, yes, finally. Then run it. Run this. And we have run the program. Yes, let's count 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, you can see the number 5. So if you put multiple beeper, there will be number So that number indicates how many beepers that are. So 5 beeper in this spot. Okay, very nice. But can you find any problem in my coding over here? In my coding. Yes. Problem is I put the 5 times of poop beeper. It's lazy and tired. But even though I create the 5 beeper function, is it a good idea? Yes, it's better, but the problem is, what if 7 beeper? If somebody asks, what if 10 beeper? And what if the 13 beeper? So let's try this time the 40 beeper. The 40 beeper. So how can you put the 40 beeper? So let me close this. And how many times? This is a 40 times. So if you use smart, so you can copy and paste. It's a 10. This is a 10. So maybe copy. And it's a 20, 30, 40. Wow, poop paper, 40 times of poop paper. Just check whether it works or not. So let me run the program like this. Then run the program. It's even slow. You can speed up using the slide bar. You can see there's a faster, 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 faster. Then eventually it put the 40 beeper over here. So good. Do you think it's a really good programming? No, it's probably not. Why? As I said, the computer really hates such a repetitive job. Instead, we need to find something way. So our solution is, today we are going to see the solution that is called the loop. What does the loop mean in dictionary? Loop is loop, repeat, like the lap. When you run the ground, so there's a lap. So we can run it again and again and again. So that is called the loop. So computer itself is very good to process such a repeated job, loop. However, computer programmer is tired to type all of this 40 times. What about 100 times? What about 1,000 times? So sometimes impossible. Instead, we are going to use the loop, okay? So before we start, there are 2 loops. There are 2 types of loop. One is for loop, and another one is while loop. So today we are going to see such a for loop first. Then next, maybe we are going to deal with the while loop. So what is the for loop? So let me change let me clear, and then share the screen into our, oops, this one is not, yes. Okay, this is the whiteboard. So I have 5 students right now. So suppose that I have 5 students, the student A and student B, student C, student D, and student E, 5 students. So what I want to do is for each student. So for each student, I need the math score, the math, and another math, the math, and math. and math, and math, and math. Oof. Then I need for each student English. So English, 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 and English, and English for student E. Then I have the history score, history, 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 history. Then what I want to do is the average, like the GPA of the student A, GPA of the student A, and GPA of the student A, and GPA of the student A, and the GPA of the student E, or A, B, C, D, E. I need to calculate the GPA for each student. So for each student, I'm going to calculate the GPA. GPA of A, and GPA of B, GPA of C, GPA of D, GPA of E. So how can we do that in our programming? So we can calculate in our programming, so GPA of A and GPA of B and so on. Instead, if you take a look at this example, so it's all student, it's the same thing. So math, English, history, we can add and divide by 3. We can add and divide by 3. And we can add, divide by 3. So for each student, we are going to do the same thing. So instead of the writing a code, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, so 5 times. If we have 10 students, 10 times, no, we don't want to do that. Instead, we are going to create, because it's a repeated job. Calculating calculus is repeated. So how can we make the code? We are going to use, it's called the for loop. So for loop has a keyword for. Then there is another keyword in. So for each student, for each student, sometimes it's we like to use the I. So for each student, in where? It's a student. So where is the student? Student is A, B, C, D, E. So from this list of student, we are going to do what? So we are going to GPA of I. So for each student. So this is called the for loop. One more thing, don't forget to put this column. This column is the indicating the for loop code block. So this part will be repeated for each student. So this is called the for loop. So this is called the for loop. In any program language, support this one. So Python used this for loop. How can we use the for loop in Python? So we can use for and in. Then we can put the list, any kind of list. For example, student list. And there exists a really list. So later we will learn the list. And also string is also possible. Why? String is the list. Because when we are talking about the string is string. It's a string, right? So because of that, we can use for each character, we can do something. And today we are going to use the function, which is called the range function. So range function generates the list of number. For example, if we put the 5, range 5 is the same as what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So why number is starting 0? Computer is 0, but it's based on the binary. Binary means 0 or 1. So it's always start from 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means 5. One more time. Range 5 means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. How many number? 5 number. From where? What? 0 to 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So what about the 100? It's a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, blah, 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 99. It's a 100 number list will be created. So we can use this one like this way. 4. We have in and I and range and what? 5. Then if you want to put the 5 beeper, then put underscore beeper. Then that's it. How many times? 5 times of put beeper. So output will be like this one. What if you want to put the 100 beeper? Then the 100 beeper, yes, this is an eraser and the eraser. Then can put 100. If you put the 100, so how many times? 100 times. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 99. So then put beeper, how many times? 100 times. So 100 beeper will be created. So let's go back to the program. So let me change our code into the desktop. Okay, here, instead of putting the 40 times of put beeper, I'm going to change the code like this. So I'm going to delete this one, then 2, 3, 4, 4. Okay, so I in. So 4 and in are keyword. It's a rule to use. Then the range, how many beeper? 40 times of beeper. Okay, 40 times of beeper. Then don't forget the colon. So colon indicate what? The code block. Then we can put beeper. Then how many beeper will be created? How many times? 40 times. It's called the for loop. Let's run the program. So delete this and run the program and run this. Little bit speed up. 20, 30. Yes, 40. So instead of typing the 40 times of put beeper, we can use for loop. This is the power of the for loop. We can really simplify our program and smart. So which one is better? 40 times of the put beeper or the using for loop? Obviously, for loop is better. So that is the for loop. So one more time, the for loop is based on the for and in. Then the for and in are keyword. We cannot change it. This is a rule. Then we can put the list of things. So for example, it can be a string, it can be list, it can be tuple, dictionary. However, forget about all of this. We are going to learn the NUM Python Season 2 later. Instead, we are going to use the range function. So this is a function to repeat. So then X is the variable for, it's called the index. You don't have to worry about right now. The later we are going to use this index. So for example, if you write down such a way and the 5 and 5 times of this statement will be repeated. How do we know which part will be repeated? we are going to use colon and code block. This same code block will be run. That is the reason we specify the indentation to make the boundary of the code block. Okay, so then let's use this for another problem. So can you guess what will be this one? It's the same thing as this. We can put 99 beeper even, okay? 100, 1,000, it doesn't matter. So our program will be simple and easy to use, okay? So next problem is the corner beeper. So corner beeper is the slightly different, but actually we can understand. So what we want to do is make the carrot moving to the end of the corner. Then put beeper. Okay, put beeper. Then move and put beeper. And move and put beeper. And move, put beeper. Okay? Can you do that? Or, so let's do this way. Let's do this way. So we can first put beeper and move to the corner. And the put beeper, move to the corner. Put beeper, move to the corner. Put beeper, move to the corner. Okay? Then, so what can we do is put beeper, move, 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 and turn left. And put beeper, move, 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 move. Instead, you can see how many times the repeat. So we can first, let's erase this. First, put beeper over here. Then move, 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 move. Okay? Then, if you see the put beeper, and move, 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 and put beeper, and move, 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 and put beeper. So how many times repeat this one? It's 4 times. It's 4 times the repeat. So instead of writing each and every loop, instead we can use the for loop. So why don't you start the program to solve this problem? So to do that, you need to start the program corner beeper here. Oops. So here, so there's a corner beeper. So start the corner beeper, and you can erase a path and start your code. Okay, I will give the couple of minutes to solve the problem. Hopefully, you are able to solve the problem. Hint, so you can create the for loop. For how many times? 4 times, because you have 4 sides. Then what you need to do is you can create the code block for the loop that put beeper and move, 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 move. Once you are done, run your program and check whether your program is working. Okay. So please try. So that is the best way to learn something. So if you're just watching the lecture, there's no way to improve your programming skill. Even not working, nobody blame you. So just try the program. Okay, so anyone who solved the problem? Okay, great. So let's solve the problem together. So first, what we need to do is let's think about the how many times. So this one is a for loop. How many times in how many times? So 5 times. So range 4 times. Yes, it's a 4 side. Don't forget to colon. It's a code block. Then So carol need to for one side first. So put beeper, right? Put beeper. Then move how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So move, move 1, move 2, and move 3, and move 4 times. Okay. Then let's run the program. It looks good. So we are going to run the program and run. There's the corner beeper. Yes. So here is the map and run the program. It looks okay, but something wrong. It's crashed. Why? Why the carol is crashed after putting the second beeper? Yes, because carol need to turn left, but there's no turn left. It tried to move to east bound. So we need to make the carol turn left. Where? After we move the 1, 2, 3, 4, then turn left. So then, which means we need to put turn left over here. Okay. Then the rest run the program again. So we are going to run the program. And here, run it. Then finally, it's run the program correctly, and the carol is moving the last side and arrive. Yes, good. So here is the one more important thing. When you are using such a for loop, you need to always check. You need to always check this end of one loop. This one. This should be the beginning of this. So post condition. This is called the post condition. So first condition will be the match with the beginning condition. Before condition. This one should be matched with the beginning of the loop. So, for example, here the dot is the post condition and the precondition. So, post condition, here the post condition should be matched with the precondition. Otherwise, it cannot be repeated. It cannot be looped. Because of that, if you remove the turn left, it will be crashed. Because the carol should be the precondition means carol should be ready to put beeper and move the same direction. So always you need to change the direction like this. This is a post condition. So that is very important when you are using the for loop. So one more time, when you are using the loop, for loop, the post condition should be matched with the precondition. Okay, otherwise it will be crashed. So that is the one thing you should be careful. Okay, very nice. So then, can you make the little bit better of this program? Okay, a little bit better. So what about this part? So this part is always the move to the what? It's the next word. So we can create the function for this. So for example, we can create the function move to the word or the next. Move to next word. Move to next. Okay. Then how many times of move? So move 1, 2, 3, 4. Then carol should turn left because of post condition. So we can create the function Then we can put the move to what? Next function. Then our code, this is called what? It's a decomposition. So we can utilize the decomposition technique that we have learned the last time using what? Function. So we can create the function move to next. Then how many times? 4 times the repeated like this. So let's run the program again. Then we will move to the next problem. Okay. So here is the code. Then run the program. You can later be speed up like this. Yes, Carol, complete the job. So, which means your program is working. So, we can use the for loop. Then we can make the Carol do the repeated job. Very nice. Okay, very good so far. The next problem is not just one. Why don't we put the 5 beeper? So how can we make the program 5 beeper? So exactly same thing. The carrot is the moving the starting from the here, okay? Then the put 5 beeper and the move here, and the put 5 beeper and move here. Put 5 and the move here. Put 5 move here. It's the same as the last program. The only different thing is you can put multiple beeper. So how can you put the multiple beeper? So see here, we can put the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's okay 5, but we learn it's a repeated job. Do I need to do it again? Instead, we can use what? We can use the for loop. So we can create another function that is put 5 beeper. So we can create the function. Instead of this, we can delete. Then create this, put 5 beeper. Okay, then we can put 5 the beeper. Does it make sense? Yes. So this is a main. The how many times? 4 times. 4 times of what? First, put beeper. How many? 5 put beeper. This is a put 5 beeper, right? Then the move to next, move to next. Then the put 5 beeper, move to next. Put 5 beeper, move to next. Put 5 beeper, move to next. So this is our code. Are you ready? Then we are going to run this program. So if you want, you can use the corner, the 5 beeper. You can use this one, or you can modify the corner beeper. So this time I'm going to continue to use our previous code. Then bring the carols word. Let me clean up our screen. Then run the program. Let's see the how many 5 the beeper. Move to next 5 beeper. Move to next, and the 5 beeper, move to next, and 5 beeper, move to next. Yes, it's correct. So because of the move to next include the turn left, the first condition match with the precondition. So that's very important in for loop. Then the other thing, so we can create a 2 function, put 5 beeper, move to next. So repeat using the for loop. So range function can make the code loop the repeated how many times? And 4 times. Very nice. Okay, so why don't you complete your code if you're not? So then see whether your program is running correctly or not. Okay, why don't you do that? I'm going to wait a couple of more minutes. Here are the codes for the corner 5 beeper solution. Or the right hand side, you can see the code from the Python. then check whether your program is running correctly or not, okay? If not, try to solve that problem, okay? Then your program eventually will be perfect. If you really don't know what is the problem, check with the solution, okay? Then you can see that your program is working. One more challenging problem, okay? Those who already complete, why don't you try this? So any number of beeper in corner. This time, if you run this code, you can repeat this part, which means always 5, the beeper. What about any number? Can you do that? So why don't you try any number? So to do that, we can change the Discord like that. We can code I. So we can use the program that we have seen here. And in range, how many times? 5 times. And so we can put beeper. Okay. Then any number, which means this one should be changed. So like for example, 100 beeper, we can put 100. 40 beeper, we can put the 40. However, this is not a really good idea. Later, you will learn this is called the function argument. Function argument input. There you can put the CNT and number CNT. Then here, put 5 beeper need the CNT. How many? So 10, for example, like this. Then 10 will be CNT. So CNT is 10. Then CNT is 10. So how many times? 10 times. So let me run the program. Then see whether this one is really working or not. Little bit speed up. More speed up. Yes, it's working, which means if you want to use the any number in function, so you can use the parameter. This is called the parameter, or this one is called argument. If you do not know, it's too difficult, don't worry. So it's not the scope of the anyone Python, but those who already complete the 5 beeper problem, you can do such a way. Okay. So I hope that everyone solved that problem, and also any number problem. So you can use this one. There's one more thing. Let me erase this because this is not the easy one. So later you will learn more. Okay, this is the solution for the 5 beeper problem. The one more thing is here we can see that if we replace the put 5 beeper, so put 5 beeper is what? It's a function. So this means that instead of put 5 beeper, we can put like this, right? So then we can delete, or we can use this. So which means we are going to run the for loop. How many times? 4 times. So this is a 5 beeper. So 5 beeper 4 times. But the I is the same. So this is a problem. So we can change it, the index, different name. It's a J this time. Because inside I is already being used in this code block. So inside you cannot use. So different. But here I is different from this function. It's totally different house. So you can see the same name of your friend. They are living in the different family. But in your family, so do you wanna use the name, first name of your sibling? No, definitely not. Each sibling has all different the first name. That's the same thing. This one means it's in the same family. So you cannot use the same index instead a different one. But if this one is the here, you can use it. But one more important thing, one last thing of today's episode. You can see the I is 4 times. Okay, it's a 4 side like this. So 4 times. Let me the 1 times and 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. For each side, how many beeper? 5 times of beeper, 5 times of beeper, 5 times of beeper, 5 times of beeper. 4 inside 4. This is called the nested the loop. So nested loop, it's being used a lot in program language. For what? Repeated and repeated. So this one means the loop will be looped how many times? 4 times. Loop inside the loop, which is called the nested loop. So nested loop is very popular in any program languages. So if you really want to understand the nested loop, you can just follow the flow of the program. So for example here, I is how many times? 4 times. So first time, the put 5 beeper, put 5 beeper will be here. The another for loop, which means 4 inside the 4. So how many times? 5 times. Once this one is done, I is equal to 2. Second time at the 1. It's the second time run. Inside 5 times of the put beeper. It's the loop inside the loop. This is called the nested loop. So using that nested loop, so we can make our program very simpler and solve the complicated problem. Here's the last question, because you are so smart. Is it possible to use for loop inside for loop and nested of nested like this? What do you think? So is it possible? 4 inside, 4 inside. So nested the loop. Yes, there might be no problem, which means I, J, K. Then if they run the K times of J times and I times like that. So even the multiple nested are possible, no problem. Okay, very nice. So we are going to end this season 1, episode 6. So regarding the for loop. Next class, we will see. I mentioned the loop. There are 2 types of loop in the programming. One is a for loop. Another one is the while loop. So next, we are going to see how to use the while loop and also what is the difference between for loop and while loop. Okay, thanks so much for your attending. Then don't forget, you need to practice. So without practicing, no way to learn the program languages. So just type. So after you watch, while you are watching, also if you cannot follow, if my lecture is too fast, you can stop, pause, and the course and resume the lecture. Then you are able to complete all the tasks. Okay, then your programming skill will be improved. Okay, thanks so much for your joining, and we will see in the next episode. Thank you.